kilogram per 1,000 square meters. So this means, in the UK, they checked the wheat zinc concentration level since 1845 to the present times, and they found that the yield is increased, but the zinc concentration is decreased. So when we increase the fertilizer, we increase the yield. When we increase the yield, probably the dilution is coming down. But there is some research very recently, and the human intake of the zinc concentration is coming down. At least it is supposed to be more than 40 ppm per kilogram of the zinc, but now in some places is maybe less than 20 and the critical level down. So the zinc also is a medicine. Why it's a medicine? Because zinc and iron deficiency causes the many differences health problem. The World Health Centers, they indicated zinc has a several influence for the plant growth and the plant mechanism, and also for the human physiological mechanism. As you can understand, maybe in our society, in all of these areas, the 50% of food is based on the wheat, because we are consuming quite lots of the wheat, and the 50% nearly. So what does it mean, the wheat? Wheat, it is a part of the photosynthesis produced carbohydrate, and the carbohydrate content is nearly for the wheat and maize and the other starch and rice also is so high. But the other side, the micronutrient content is very low. And also when we look at the wheat seed concentration is declining over the time, especially in the zinc, especially in the seed content of the zinc concentration is coming down. So this mean in the different places, so many experiment has been located, and it has been made clear, from the Mexico or Turkey and China, Austria, Germany, Iran, and Brazil, maybe, and Pakistan, Kazakhstan, in India. And you can find big differences between plus zinc and minus zinc. And there is nearly double yield increases with the zinc application in our soil. We used to have a NATO project, so Professor Chakmak, he was leading that project, and we found it in the central Anatolia. And it is very clear from the far away when you look at the differences between zinc and without zincs. And you can find definitely as a clear pictures of the life, how the zinc is smoothing the plant growth. And you can find a different variety of the wheat genotypes, durum wheat and bread wheat and triticale, and the zinc efficiency and non-zinc efficiency variety you can find in the natures. There is so many big differences, and the same soil, but a different variety of the wheat are growing with the different responses. And also you can find that when you add a different zinc coating seeds, and the plants are growing also again with a different response. So when we look at the several pot experiment, we found that different genotypes have a different response to the zinc efficiency. Because under the zinc deficiency of soil, when you added the zincs, maybe over 100% of the yield increases is coming on. So how we can increase the yield? We can increase yield by the fertilizers. When you added the zinc fertilizers in Turkey, very recently we are doing this one, and we found that the sufficient and insufficient zinc deficient plant species, they were giving different response to the zinc application. So the zinc application, zinc fertilization, have any change, any effect of the climate change?
Recording in progress.
In terms of our understanding, since the plants are making the proteins, plants are making the carbohydrate is directly related with the zinc efficiency, zinc use. So with and without zinc, we found that the plants are growing differently. So what does it mean? This means when you increase the zinc nutrition and the zinc is promoting plant and plant producing more biomass, it means they're exploiting the soil nutrients and at the same times, and you are fixing more atmospheric carbon side because through the photosynthesis system. And the photosynthesis system, it's taking more carbon fixing, and the more carbon fixing mean more yield. It's nearly half the percent of the 50% of the plant. It depends on the photosynthesis, taking the nutrient from the soil and fixing the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, increasing the climate change, limiting the fact be a new challenge area for the climate change because the roots are staying and remaining in the soil, and the make of the soil carbon, and carbon is the major sources challenging against the climate change because of you are keeping the carbon in the soil through the roots. The roots are very important. We should work on that. And the mycorrhiza, in a similarly, and also is promoting the plant growth and promoting the root growth, and they are keeping the more carbon in the soil. And you can see the different genotypes they have a different efficiency. When we look at the several times and in the experimental area, we found that the zinc in the addition, and also with the sterile and non-sterile soil. When we look at the sterile and non-sterile soil, we found it also when you sterilize the soil for zinc and phosphorus, because the plants are dependent on the mycorrhiza. When you sterilize the soil and the organism, when they kill off and the plant growth is changed and the soil diversity, soil biological activity is coming down, and the soil health and functioning are not properly working. When you have a non-sterilization, or when you edit the organism, the rhizosphere organism, you change the atmosphere of the plant rhizosphere area, and that one make plant healthy, soil healthy. So this is a part of the challenging with the climate change. I just make a calculation. I should tell you. Maybe you can see in the screen. We have three different with and without resistant to the zinc deficiency, and we have a sterile and non-sterile, and we have a 0 ppm of the zinc application control and a 5 ppm with and without mycorrhiza. And I calculated in the plant tissue how much carbon we have. And we converted into the carbon dioxide fixation. You can see, you can look at the one genotypes when there is in the sterile soil, we have 14 gram per kilogram of the plant material in the carbon dioxide fixation. If you have a mycorrhiza, you have 18 or maybe 19 milligrams. But with the zinc, you can have a little bit, again, index there. When you can see the mycorrhiza, again, is increased. Got it down, you can look at in the sterile soil. In the sterile soil, look at again is 13 or 14 milligram per kilogram, and 19 kilogram per kilogram. In the zinc, you can have also more or less as the same situation. But we can see the different genotypes, they have a different capacity of the fixing carbon dioxide. So what does it mean? This means we have to concentrate it on this kind of researchers. Also, we try to look at the different genotypes, how they have a dependency of mycorrhiza. And we found that really there is a big difference, different variety. They depend, some of them, they are not dependent. But when you look at diploid level, you can find that diploids are really, really highly mycorrhizal dependent. And the tetraploid, and the last one is the hexaploid. And with and without mycorrhiza, when we look at it, the really root growth parameters and the mycorrhizal dependency, the idea are supporting each other. So it means we have to challenge with this subject through the increasing the nutrient balancing and increasing, for example, the zinc is very common deficiency in our soil, probably in India and around the countries. And so we have to concentrate on this area. Zinc application positively influences the shoot and root drive rate of the many plant species, especially in our area. We found that the genotypes are giving response. More growth, it means more biomass. This is directly related to more carbon dioxide fixation. Carbon dioxide is the causes of the climate change and the heating of the atmospheric situation. So the mycorrhiza also can help us to increase the biomass production by fixation of through the photosynthesis, bring down the mitigated the carbon dioxide atmospheric situation. The study examined how different genotype responds to the mycorrhiza initiation in terms of the zinc uptake, which is directly related with the challenging the mitigated greenhouse gases. In conclusion, what I should say, this global warming impact of the zinc dynamics, because this is related with the plant capacity, how they absorb zinc from the soil, and the zinc addition can help, mycorrhiza can help, variety, different plant variety, maybe they have a genetical capacity, they have an ability of to increase the roots systems, they can have more absorbing the zinc. And the absorbing more zinc by the plants, and they mean they have a higher biomass. This means also, again, it's mean more carbon dioxide fixation. If we fix it, the more carbon, it means we can reduce the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere. So this means, finally, I should say the findings suggested us zinc nutrition in the wheat, particularly for the zinc deficiency soils. It is a mechanism, it is a way we can challenge with this kind of climate change problem. So I can suggest it's a new era for the new challenge area. We should concentrate on the other mineral nutrients, the fertilizer, except the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, we use it quite lots. But we have to concentrate it on this zinc nutrition related with the biomass and related with the climate change. Thank you very much. And I should make a thanks to our resource fair group. Also, my colleague, Professor Çakmak, he was working with us, and we worked together about this kind of work. Thank you very much.